Respected Mahasanga, respected Dr. Bipin Kumar, Dhamma brother and sister, they are participants in our Winfield Dhamma Club. Very good afternoon. My name is Jonathan. It is really honorable, privilege, and happy for me to be moderator for the interactive talk and discussion today. So before starting our virtual meeting and dialogue, I would like to invite all of us to put your thumb together to recite the Buddha's name for 3 times in Pali language. May I request Venerable Thích Đông Đạo to raise your voice first. Venerable, please.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa.
Bante. Next, I would like to announce the tentative program today as follows. 1. Introducing guests and participants. 2. Opening speech and introduction chief guest by Dharma Sister Quảng Tánh. 3. Main speak by our chief guest, Dr. Bipin Kumar, Department of Sanskrit, Central University of Haryana. 4. Question and answer season. 5. Verb tag by Dharma brother Dong Thanh. 6. Closing program by the traditional song of the club. I have brought I am home. In this meaningful and interactive meeting today, it's really my pleasure and honorable for us to welcome. 1. Dr. Bipin Kumar, Department of Sanskrit, Central University of Haryana. 2. Venerable Dr. Thích Đông Đạo, founder and president of Winfield Dhamma Club Vietnam. 3. All Dhamma brother and sister, all members of club on Antian. Once again, warmly welcome you on to the great meeting today. To understand our Winfield Dhamma Club as well as the biology of our guest speaker today. Now I'd like to invite Dhamma Sister Quảng Tánh for opening remark and introducing our chief guest. Sister, please, over the mic to you, Sister.
Namo Sakyamuni Buddha, respected Mahasangha, respected Dr. Bipin Kumar, dear members of the Winfield Dhamma English class, Dhamma brothers and sisters, very good afternoon to you all. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Bipin Kumar, Department of Sanskrit, Central University of Haryana. To our Winfield Dhamma English Club, the School of Buddhist Study, Vietnam. Thank you so much, Venerable, for your kind acceptance of our invitations as a guest speaker today. Let me take a few minutes to give you all brief introductions of the School of Buddhist Studies and Winfield Dhamma English Club. At quiz now, the School of Buddhist Studies was a short school in the field of Buddhist study in Vietnam. We spent the last number of months to free Vietnam Buddhist University in Ho Chi Minh City, Huế and Hanoi capital. Our students are usually taught. Students that entrance exam for graduate from Sydney University. For the best of uses of English, Winfield Dhamma English Club were founded by when Dr. Thích Đông Đạo in schools of Buddhist studies at Vinden Province. In 2020, with participation of more than 200 maintenance, we are still learning Dhamma English, the foremost Buddhist English club that we use English as a medium language to understand the Buddha teachings. along with improvement of four necessary skills of reading, speaking, listening, and writing for our members. It will be a strong foundation and valuable represent for them to study abroad in future. It's the basis for us members of the club to have a good strength to learn Dharma through English and to understand and listen to the pros of Dharma. We will have good approaches to prominent speakers, scholars, teachers, and professors in the field of Buddhist studies from different countries saying different Buddhist traditions, Laos, Cambodia, Myanmar, Thailand, Sri Lanka, India for Theravada tradition, Vietnam, China, Japan, and Korea for Mahayana Buddhism, and Mongolia, Bhutan, Tibet for Vajrayana Buddhist traditions. Today is our 25th dialogue with Dr. Bipin Kumar, Department of Sanskrit Central University of Haryana in 2022 in the series of weekly international meeting in the Winter Dharma English Club in the School of Buddhist Study Vietnam. It's a great pleasure Dr. Bipin Kumar has accepted our invitations as a guest speaker to have a talk with our 200 members of the club on the content of Buddhist Sanskrit to understand the Indian intellectual tradition. Once again, thank you for joining us and welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dharma Sister Quảng Tấn. Now, may I request Dharma Dr. Bipin Kumar, Department of Sanskrit, Central University of Haryana, to give your message on Buddhist Sanskrit text to understand the Indian intellectual tradition today. Over the mic to you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay, so I am very glad to be with you right now, because whenever we are talking about any specific title or specific topic, at that time we need to think more and more, because if something is very crucial, then you need to think more and more so that you can make it simple. Okay, so the topic what you have already mentioned here, that is Sanskrit Buddhist text to understand the Indian intellectual tradition. So first of all, I salute the Bharat Mataram, Vande Bharat Mataram, and as our tradition, I just try to salute the specific supreme power so that we can be blessed by them. So, Pradurbhavadanumita janmani purarena kvapik क्वचिदपि भवन्तं प्रणतवान् नमन्मुक्तः सम्प्रत्यहमतनुरग्रेप्यनतिभा महेशक्षन्तव्यं तदिदमपराधद्वयमिति. In this invocation, as you can see the translation given here, we are just bowing our head towards the Almighty by saying this. I have never bow down in front of you. Neither I will do the same thing in future. That is only two offense. I am just trying to say that you just forgive me for all these two offense. And why I have chosen such type of invocation, I will narrate later on. First of all, I see in this gathering, I have seen there are so many students from Nalanda and other institutions. They are joined here. But first of all, I am thankful for Bipin School of Buddhist Studies, Vietnam, the gurus who are there and who is giving the education for those monks and nuns, and not only gurus but monks and nuns, the technical team and other helpful who has arranged such event. I am thankful for those people. Now I am just slowly I am just moving towards the topic, because that is the main thing. Previously I have just chanted one shlok, and that is just to express what I am going to explain. That was not only Mangalacharan, or that is not invocation. That is connected with the content of this talk. Normally in Indian tradition, you will find the Mangalacharan or invocation, which is almost in three types. When you are saluting the Almighty, or you are praising the king or someone else, or when you are expressing the content of that particular text or particular that particular event or talk, whatever. So in this invocation, you have seen that we are talking about the different janma, different bhava chakra. You can correlate it with pratit samutpadi. Now we are coming towards the content, what we will elaborate here. First of all, I will express my view on the technical terms which I have used in the title, why I have taken such type of title. And the next point will be the steps of learning. Steps of learning of Buddhist Sanskrit Buddhist text to understand Indian intellectual tradition. The next point will be technique of learning. Steps of learning, that is quite different. A technique of learning, if you are not understanding the technique of learning, then it will be very problematic to learn something. Specifically when you are learning the concept of Buddhism, which is written in Sanskrit text, that is very difficult. It is not so easy. Even you are able to understand through the translated texts, but that is quite different thing. So I am just trying to point out those specific topics. Fourth one is pillar of learning. Here also I will try to communicate the different types of different pillars when you are preparing any specific home or any other court. At that time you just need to think about the base. So we will talk about the base of learning, and the different 2 points will be most debatable points while you are talking about Buddhism or Indian intellectual tradition. At the end of this talk, I will just try to give some examples from different Sanskrit Buddhist texts, and I will try to compare with the different disciplines. So this will be the main focal area of lecture, as it is the talk, so it will not be one way, but I will try to talk with you also. So first of all, we are just trying to know about the Sanskrit Buddhist text and Indian intellectual tradition. So whenever you are saying Sanskrit Buddhist text, we are just trying to understand that it is just concerned with Mahayana Buddhism, but it is not only concerned with Mahayana Buddhist text, but you will see in Theravada, the Theravadin texts also concerned with, they have translated or in any other manner, you will find it in Sanskrit also. So whenever you are talking about Sanskrit Buddhist text, don't forget that it is not only concerned with Mahayana, but also with Hinayan or Theravadin text also. Now, the second one, that is Indian intellectual tradition. The next query will be what is Indian intellectual tradition and why I have taken such type of topics. So you will be able to understand when I will try to clear Indian intellectual tradition. I am not taking your questions right now. If you need to ask something, I will take at the end of this talk, or you can unmute your mic, you can ask. Okay. Otherwise, it will be interrupted during the lecture. Okay. So, Indian intellectual tradition, what does it mean by? First of all, we need to understand this one. And the second one, to why it is needed, why you wish to understand about the Indian intellectual tradition, because you are just reading some Buddhist texts. So why you are here to learn about Indian intellectual tradition? Okay, so all these things we will just try to uh, mention here, so that you will understand step by step. Whatever I am just trying to convey, you can understand step by step. Regarding Buddhist literature, you know very well, Tripitakas or Nikaya or Ang, all these texts you know very well. So I am not going to give the detail regarding this one. And in the same way, you can see different texts which has been divided in 1 minute. It is okay. So first of all, different Tripitak and the Artha Katha, which is mentioned in Pali, that Artha Katha means which is the explanation of the original text. Explanation of original text, that is mentioned as Artha Katha. In the same way, you can see the different texts. I am just showing the slides because these are it is hanging 1 minute. Can you see the slide?
Now, yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Now, whenever you are talking about particularly Sanskrit Buddhist text, then you can think about Agam texts, and there are so many texts which is written under this section. These are mixture of the both Hinayan texts and Mahayana texts, because I have not bifurcated all these texts, because all these texts are mentioned as the Sanskrit Buddhist text. That's why I have not bifurcated, but you can see these texts which is either in whole and soul or in the part, it has been translated in Sanskrit. Okay, so it is creating problem to show slide is not changing. Yes. So next, you can see these texts, and in the same way, you can see number of texts which has been either translated in Sanskrit or which has been directly written in Sanskrit. So either you are talking about translated texts or you are talking about the directly written in Sanskrit text. For example, if you are talking about Dhammapad, that text has been translated in Sanskrit, and when you are chanting that text, it will be quite similar, even because the prosodical rules are the same. Prosodical rules are the same, so you will see the pronunciation and the meaning and all these things will remain same. But one thing, when you are translating something to another language, then a little difference you can see, that is obvious, but normally you can understand all these things in that particular language. But when you are talking about Mahayana text, then you see it is not translated, it is just you are finding in direct, it is written in Sanskrit. So when you try to know about those texts, for that you need to understand the basic concepts of Sanskrit language and grammar, not only basic concepts of Sanskrit grammar, but also the such type of technical terms. Even you are trying to understand the translated text, for that also you need to have a little bit knowledge of Sanskrit. For example, you see Sadharma Pundarika Sutra, it is famous as Lotus Sutra. So you will see it is written in Sanskrit, and in the different due to its journey, you can find in different language also. But if you are not knowing the Sanskrit, if you are not knowing the Indian intellectual tradition, I am just describing all these things in different next section. You will not be able to infer what it is saying, what is the relevance of that text, what this text is trying to convey. Later on, you see the translated text or originally written in Sanskrit text, that is Jatak text or Stotra, when you are praising the Almighty, for such type of text. And not only this one, the Shastra tradition means when you are defining the concept, such type of text is called as Shastric text. And you see Prajna Paramita Sutra and Madhyama Kadika and so many philosophical texts you can find there. So not only this one, if you go ahead, then you will see the Tantric tradition. In the Tantric tradition, you can find Sanskrit texts. So many Sanskrit texts you can find in Tantric tradition in Buddhism also. And not only this one, if you see the different types of texts for Rupak Sahitya or dramatic texts, you can find which is purely concerned with Sanskrit Buddhist scenario, but it is written in Sanskrit. Epic and stories you can find which is written in Sanskrit. So not only one or two points, you can find different types of texts, different types of literature you can find in the way of Sanskrit Buddhist literature. Okay, so now I am coming towards Indian intellectual tradition, and while I am describing, you can understand easily what you can take from this tradition and in which way you can enhance your knowledge by learning this tradition. First of all, whenever you are talking about any discipline, you need to understand that particular discipline, but not criticize another discipline. Because when we are spending our energy can't be spent, but it will be converted only. But when you are spending your energy to criticize something or any discipline or any uh, your colleague or anyone, at that time you are losing your own. But if you are just trying to focus on your own upliftment to enhance your own knowledge, then it will be beneficial for you. So that's why I am just started with adhyavasaya or swadhyay in Indian tradition. That is the core concept. Someone who is indulged with Indian intellectual tradition or Bharatiya Gyan Parampara, he or she must have the knowledge about adhyavasaya or swadhyay. Means you need to try to understand who are you. And for this, you see, there are 4 elements. First one, adhyavasaya, the Sishya. Sishya means whom I have not written here student, because that is not the translation. And Guru, again, I have not written here the teacher. Okay. And the process of that adhyavasaya, that is very important, and I have not explained this one because it will take too much time. So this concept you can find from the very beginning of human evolution till this day when we are most capable with the help of technical knowledge. But even that, our goal and our problem is the same. We have started with Dukkhatraya, even in Buddhist tradition or in Indian different another school of philosophy. You can find the same thing. In Sankhya philosophy also, you see Dukkhatraya Vighata. They are also started to how to remove these miseries, sufferings. In the Buddhist philosophy also, you can find the same thing. But Buddhist philosophy, when you are talking about Buddhist philosophy, for that we need to go beyond of this one, because nowadays we find there are 9 schools of philosophy. But if you see the 13th century, at that time we have more than 16 disciplines. And if you go to see apart from this one, you will find number of philosophical disciplines were there. And from where we start, normally we are starting with the Vedic tradition. Whenever we are talking about Vedic tradition, there are something which are coming in our mind, that Buddhist tradition is quite opposed to Vedic tradition, or Vedic tradition is quite opposite. But that's not the actual thing. When you will see, it will both are helping each other. So how it is both are helping, we will discuss later on. So right now I am trying to say about Indian intellectual tradition. Vedic and Laukic tradition, Vedic tradition and classical tradition. Both are counted as Indian intellectual tradition. And in Vedic tradition, you can find the Vedang. Vedang means the different component who are helpful to extract the meaning from Vedic texts. That is different discipline. Component means the different discipline. Later on, we see in Vedic tradition, we see Sanghita, Brahman, Aranyak, and Upanishad. Later on, from Upanishad, you see the different philosophical disciplines. Not only this 6 plus 3 means 6 Indian schools, Astic tradition, and which is called as a Nastic tradition in Charvak, Bodh, and Jain. But I am not explaining in this way, because we are understanding that right now we have only these 9 disciplines, and all these are under the category of, under the umbrella of Indian intellectual tradition. So when you are talking about Buddhist tradition in India, that is the part of Indian intellectual tradition. Okay, so that's why I am saying both are not both are helping each other. Even it is spreaded over the world, you can find the component which is mentioned in Indian tradition. And what is mentioned in Indian tradition, we are viewing in next slides. So after that, we see Vedic tradition, we see different types of Upaved are there, and under those categories, subcategories, you will find the number of texts are there. Not only 1 to 1,000 texts you can find, that is concerned with medical science, that may be concerned with music, that may be concerned with this one architect. So you can find different discipline as the subcategories of Vedic text. Whenever we are talking about Vedic text on the context of Buddhist scenario, we are just understanding that that is concerned with rituals, that is concerned with karma kand only. But this ritual or this karma kand is concerned with all types of systems or disciplines. You can find in Buddhist tradition also, you can find different types of rituals. It differed space to space. Okay, so but the Buddhist Vedic texts or Vedic literature or Indian intellectual tradition, it is not only just concerned with karma kand or rituals. You can find different types of scientific texts you can find here easily. And not only this one, the Bhasha Shastra, philosophy of language. You can find there are number of texts which is helpful to understand the Buddhist text and Buddhist philosophy, which is developed later on as a different discipline in Buddhist text, Buddhist philosophy, because you know there are 2 disciplines in Buddhist sect, Hinayana and Mahayana, Theravada, you see in such way. And later on, you see each one has 2 different philosophical schools. Okay, and later on it has been bifurcated into so many types. So in Indian intellectual tradition, you see the classical literature as well as scientific literature. Okay, and under the umbrella of scientific literature, you can find different disciplines, and that is not 1 or 2 or 3. There will be so many disciplines. Now I am talking about why it is the Indian intellectual tradition is so important, and how you can understand Indian intellectual while you are reading the Buddhist Sanskrit Buddhist text the goal is one for all. Only the path they are defining as per their own background, their own capability, each and every discipline. They are talking about the same goal, but the mode of explanation is quite different. Path, they are defining in different way. So, but the common thing which you find in all disciplines, that is, first of all, I can this from one classical Sanskrit literature, that is adhiti bodha charana pracharana. You need to read something, you need to go in depth, understand something. After reading, you need to have knowledge about that. If you are learning reading Sadharam Pundarika Sutra, first of all, you need to please mute your mic. Sadharam Pundarika Sutra, you need to read first of all. You need to read thoroughly. Later on, you need to understand the concept of what you are reading. That must be understood. Otherwise, that is useless. Third step will be, it must be reflected in your behavior. If it is not reflecting in your behavior, then it is useless. So if you are saying that if Lord Buddha is saying that you must have with such type of feeling, that is ahimsa, you should not kill something. So you have just read that concept in any text, either it is Pitak text or Jatak Katha or whatever. You need to understand what is the actual notion. Then you need to perform it. Then you are able to broadcast or preach or teach or to say something about that one. If I am not doing the same thing, if I am not adopting it, then there is no right to preach, because not only reading something is sufficient, not only understanding is sufficient, but we need to have such type of knowledge, have in my it must be reflected in my behavior. Now, how you will understand that one? So I am just quoting one text, that is manusye sati durlabha purushata pungstve punar viprata vipratve bahuvidyatati gunata vidyavatorthagyata arthagyasya vichitravak kupatvo तत्रापि लोकज्ञता लोकज्ञस्य समस्त्र शास्त्र विदुषो धर्मे मतिर दुर्लभा. I am just trying to say the technique. You see, here he has explained. You are reading such type of text, and he is saying everything you can gain, but what is your own duty, that must be you can keep it as the most priority. You keep it as the most important aspect. Everything is okay, but if you are knowing everything, you are capable to understand meaning and all these things. If you are not able to perform your duty where you are, I am not saying that I am in specific designation, then only. Even I am a son, or I am a husband, or I am a teacher, or I am a student, in which capacity I am, I must have to perform my own duty. And one a person can be in different role, and in different at the same time you have different role and different duties. So you need to understand such type of concept. Then because I have explained this one as a duty, because there are so many explanation regarding dharma, and you know very well that it is one of the most debatable topic. But when you see different topics, different textbooks, different disciplines, the crux you will find only one thing, that will be as a duty what I have mentioned here. So you either you are viewing different Buddhist text, or Manusmriti, or Yagyavalkya Smriti, or uh, another text, even philosophical text, where you are talking about Indian logic, you will see the same thing. And if you compare the two texts or three texts, you will find the essence will be the same. Only the way of explanation is different. So while we are reading the text, as at that time we need to understand what is the actual meaning, what he wishes to convey through this text. If we are not capable to understand this notion, then we are not able to understand the text. So first of all, you need to understand the basic components of Sanskrit grammar and literature. Then you need to understand the how to analyze the text, because if you are not able to analyze, then you are just trying to criticize that he is saying this thing and he is saying this thing, both are contradictory. These are not contradictory. You need to understand in such way. Okay. And after that, I have quoted here Indian logical Indian definition of dharma from Indian the text of Indian logic, that is called as Tark Sangraha, and in Tark Bhasa also, but I have quoted from Tark Sangraha. So you can see that whenever you are explaining the text, whenever you are trying to understand the text, at that time you need to analyze, then only you will be able to understand. You will be able to compare, and you will find that there is no dispute at all. The dispute, only we are just creating the dispute. The essence never allows to dispute on any topic. We need to understand the context. We need to understand the scenario where it has been mentioned, because whenever we are talking, we need to understand desha, kal, and patra, space, time, and who is describing. So I have mentioned here that vihit karma janyo dharma. Even it is mentioned in different context, but you will see that what is defined by the society, what is defined by the that specific discipline, that must be acceptable. Now we are viewing in which way we can learn. There are three steps. First, Shravan, Manan, and Nididhyasan. I have taken as it is in Sanskrit, because if you translate it, then you will understand this concept in different way. That's why I have not translated here. Shravan means when you are listening something. What is your goal? You are just trying to listen, and that is called as Shravan. And you need to be focused while you are listening. Then you need to Manan, you need to think about that one, and then you will be focused on that particular concept. And what I have mentioned earlier, you need to read, you need to understand, and you need to keep in your own behavior, then you can preach. So Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasan, then you have seen there are 4 different steps. Now you see whatever text you are finding, either you are uh, viewing a Sadharam Pundarika Sutra, or you are talking about Buddha Charitam, or you are talking about any other philosophical text, you will see there are 4 steps. Sorry, 4 uh, pillars. Pillars means base component. That is, who can read that text. Means first of all, the subject matter or content. What is in this text, and who will be eligible to read that text, and what is the relation, and what is the goal to read that text. So what text you are taking, that is different issue, but each and every text you can find the same thing. And in Indian intellectual tradition, almost each and every text, if you are trying to read, the same notion you will find in all disciplines, not only in one disciplines, and the same thing you will find in Sanskrit Buddhist texts. So that's why it is quite important. And in the same way, you see uh, the importance of mind, and importance of performing something, performing step by step. So importance of mind you can read specifically in Dhammapad, Purvangama Srishta Manu Maya Manasa Chet Pradushtena. So if your mind is okay, then you can do anything. If it is in going in negative way, then you can't do anything, because as per the uh, as per the capability of mind, you can do anything. The most debatable points is rebirth and karma theory in Indian context, Indian intellectual tradition regarding, or you, if you are talking about Buddhist text, because you know very well, if you are learning philosophical text of Buddha, you will find that these are most important thing. And here I have mentioned the structure of text, that will be in Karika or Sutra, and the Chand, that is Chand or prosodical rules, that is again the most important part of all those texts, specifically which is written in a poetry form, which is written in prose form. For that it is not important, but for poetry form, the prosodical rules, that is very important, crucial to all Sanskrit Buddhist text. Even you are trying to learn Dhammapad, or you are trying to know about Buddha Charitam or Sariputra Prakarana, or whatever text, or here Madhyama Karika. And what I have started, that the same concept, all disciplines, they are just trying to raise, and that in the end of that text, they are just trying to conclude with that one only, to know yourself. And in which way know yourself, that means that path is quite different. And if you are talking about the ontological aspect of in Buddhist texts and Indian intellectual tradition, you will find normally 5 elements are accepted, but in Buddhist text you will see only 4. They are not accepting the ether. And the different type of 3 guna, importance of mind, we have already mentioned. And upaya, you will see the upaya kausal parvat, where you can find the different types of upaya have been mentioned, and the term is taken as it is in Sanskrit. Upay, and the same thing you will find in Patanjali Yoga Darshan also, Upay, and Sadharam Pundarik Sutra also. So that is what I wish to communicate, that if you are trying to understand one text, you the core concept, core formation will be the same for all Indian text which is concerned with Indian intellectual tradition. Either it is written for philosophical discipline, or it is written for music, or it is written for architect, or it is written for archery. Whatever you will see, the core concept will be the same. You need to have knowledge of base component of Sanskrit grammar. You need to understand the prosodical rules. You need to understand the steps of learning. You need to understand the base component of learning. So all these things, that will be the same. Okay, so I just tried this one. Now I am just trying to give some examples. Before that, I have mentioned here, if you are learning Dhammapad, you need to learn Ratharupak of Kathopanishad. Without knowing Ratharupak of Kathopanishad, you will not be able to understand actual essence of Dhammapad. And in the same way, Shiv Sankalpa Sukta, which is from Yajurveda. If you are trying to understand Buddha Charitam, you need to understand the concept of Sankhya, 12th canto, which is completely based on this one. If you need to, if you are trying to understand Buddha Charitam, and if you have not studied Vatsyayana, Kama Sutra of Vatsyayana or Kama Shastra, you will not be able to understand the Stri Vigarhana in that part. If you wish to know about Bauddha Nyaya, you need to understand. I'm not saying that which is earlier, which is developed later. This debate is not my concern. I am just trying to say that both are explaining in the same way. You need to read, you need to compare, you need to analyze. And if you are talking about Bauddha Tantra, or Tantra from the Puranic tradition or Vedic tradition, if you are talking about Tantra, and if you are not able to understand the Vedantic tradition, then it will be insufficient knowledge. Okay. Now I have given some examples regarding argument method. You can find the same thing. It has been mentioned that when he is just trying to convey, he is just trying to teach some any concept, he is saying that how I will be dedicated for the nirvana, because he is just raising his hand, that how I will be there. Or so just tell me the complete process so that I will be satisfied from your explanation. Okay, I have quoted this one from Buddha Charitam, and this one I have taken from Sadharam Pundarika Sutra. Sadi Putra dialogue is there, so you can see the same thing. Again, he is just trying to communicate their his own concept, but no one is trying to listen without any hesitation. But later on, when he has explained and he has mentioned that everything must be Bahujana Hitaya and Bahujana Sukhaya. Whatever you are trying to uh, communicate, whatever you are trying to give knowledge to society, that must be, yes, I am concluding, then I will take your question at 55. Okay, so this one will be for Bahujan Hitai and Bahujan Sukhai. In the same way, you can see the different texts which has been taken from again Buddha Charitam. So in the at the end of this lecture, I am just trying to say that you need to understand different texts from Indian intellectual tradition, and you will be able to understand the text. Even you are trying to read one text, you need to understand different texts so that it will be helpful, and it will be quite easy to understand those texts if you are trying to learn um, philosophical text. You need to go through the different other philosophical disciplines. If you are trying to read Jatak Katha, you need to understand the different text which is written earlier. So that will be helpful for you. Okay. So this was the uh, talk regarding Indian intellectual tradition in brief. Okay, because one topic can, one point, one slide can be explained in different way, but I tried to summarize it within 55 minutes. Now it is your turn. You can ask if you have any doubt, any question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bipin Kumar, Department of Translation, Central University of Haryana, for enlightening us the wonderful topic today, Buddhist Sanskrit text to understand the Indian intellectual tradition. We have a lot of knowledge and useful information that you have with our club member. Through your presentation, I believe that all participants and members here have understood clearly and fully about prominent feature of Buddhist Sanskrit text to understand the Indian intellectual tradition. Once again, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Bipin Kumar. Now it's time for us to come to question and answer session. Anyone who wants to ask our chief guest, kindly open your mic and feel free to ask. Don't hesitate, please. Question are warmly welcome in this session, please.
You can ask if you have any question, any doubt, because I see there are so many students from my previous institution uh, who are attending here. They must have some questions, but normally, as I felt that you are hesitating to ask question. If you are not able to ask questions, then how someone will satisfy you by the giving his own input? So just try to ask and try to remove your hesitation. Okay, that is also the part of learning. And that is very nice thing that you think carefully. And I have seen previous lectures also. You are very attentive and you are arranging very smooth in smooth way, and that's why it is very helpful for not only who are attending but also who will see later on. That will be very useful, and I hope you will be benefited by this lecture. It should not be just only the lecture, okay, because it was the talk and I just wished to talk with you, and it must be the two-way process. But here I have seen it is only one-way process. That is not good. It must be two-way process, then only you can exchange knowledge. Okay.
Yes, now we come into the Q&A section. Today, our the guest speaker has a very wonderful presentation, an excellent topic, because he has mentioned about the Buddhist Sanskrit text to understand the Indian intellectual tradition. So, our students, do you want to ask him? Actually, in my mind, it raised my doubts about the two big questions. The first one in relation to the Buddhist Sanskrit text and Brahmana, Brahmatical text. The second one the Sanskrit and Pali. Now we mentioned the first one. So can you share your experience about the Buddhist Sanskrit text? Because actually in Mahayana Buddhism, basically we refer to the Buddhist hybrid Sanskrit. So in here, can you say more about the Buddhist hybrid Sanskrit? Because we have many important sutras in Mahayana tradition, like Sadamat Buddhadaka Sutra, Prekaparamati Sutra, Alankaravatar Sutra. So can you share about the usage of language or style of writing and vocabulary, different ways of using the
Yes,
language? Yeah. And
yes,
the second one is also because so many scholars today they have doubts about authentic problem about the Mahayana Sutras in the Sanskrit. So can you share your ideas about that? So our students, our collect members can understand more. Thank you so much, sir.
yes. What you have mentioned first, the term Vedic tradition and Brahman, and later on you have mentioned about Pali literature, and simultaneously you shifted to hybrid Sanskrit. There are three steps. What in your question? Okay, so starting from first one, you see any of language you can take that must have the different shifts. Okay, even in Sanskrit also you see the Vedic text, then later on it has been shifted to classical Sanskrit. Some words have been adopted differently, some words have been skipped, and a new word have been generated. So what you are saying, hybrid Sanskrit, that started in starting phase only, starting phase. Okay, and you can see the different terms, number of terms, which is now eliminated from Vedic text, and simultaneously new word has been coined. So this is the process of language, and no one can stop this one. Now you come towards Pali. When you see the Sanskrit text, then Pali, Prakrit, and later on modern Indian languages, because you know the place of Lord Buddha, the native people, what they were using, that have been used in the preach. That is obvious. Suppose I am in India, I am in Delhi. If I will speak in my to explain any concept to local people, in which way I will explain? Here I have compulsory. I have one compulsory that I have to communicate in English only, because there is no gap. There must be no gap in communication. But if I am explaining, it means I have to understand the people, and that's why he is saying Bahujan Hitaya, Bahujan Sukhaya. If I am explaining in English, a limited people are being benefited. Okay, because who are knowing English, they are able to understand my words. But number of people who are not able to understand. In the same way, when he started preaching, not communicating the knowledge. Later on, when it has been written in the text, and once again the next shift, Pali to Sanskrit, and Pali to hybrid Sanskrit, because the scholars who came from Puranic tradition, Vedic tradition, and they have just tried to mix their own experience, which he has gained earlier time. For example, Buddha Charitam, you see, that is the quite clear example of this shift. He was from Brahmanic tradition. Brahmanic tradition was the Vedic tradition. Because when we are saying Brahmanic tradition, at that time we are just trying to understand that karma kand. That is not. I am saying Vedic tradition, and he started. He wrote Buddha Charitam, and you can see the all different types of inputs he has given in there. But now if you are viewing Sadharam Pundarik Sutra like text, you will find the different term which is not in Sanskrit. You will see we have limited time, that's why I have not shown, but you will see recently I am just trying to arrange one workshop for 15 days again, where I will teach only Sanskrit text, and I will teach only this hybrid Sanskrit, and I will try to show where they have put the different term which is not found in Sanskrit. You can't derive those terms from Sanskrit grammar. You need to take help from another grammar. Okay, so Sadharam Pundarik Sutra is very important text to understand hybrid Sanskrit. Okay, so that will be explained when I will teach that hybrid Sanskrit text from original Sanskrit grammar with the original Sanskrit grammar or original Sanskrit text. At that time you can understand, but only one text you can find the shift of language, that is Sadharam Pundarik Sutra. You can this one Upay Kausal Parvat, you can find there only. If you are trying to find the shift of two different discipline, Vedic discipline and Buddhist, you can find this one Buddha Charitam. If you are trying to find the ancient to later on language for Bhojan Hitaya, Bhojan Sukhaya, you can find the words of Lord Buddha. Okay, so there are three examples. You have asked one question which has three steps. I have given three different answer of each steps. Thank you. Even if you have any question, you can, because if you are asking something at that time, that is very beneficial for you. Okay.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for wonderful answer, because you clarify the three phases of development in Sanskrit language: Vedic Sanskrit, Classical Sanskrit, and Buddhist Sanskrit. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One Leon, you wish to ask something? Leon Huan.
I invite Ambassador Lin Huan. Open your mic.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Hello.
I know Sanskrit appeared in India, and Pali has also appeared in India. So I would like to a question. What are the similar and difference between Pali and Sanskrit?
Oh, that is very difficult question. Okay, because there are again, if I am explaining, it will be two different steps. Vedic Sanskrit to classical Sanskrit, that has the same difficulties. Okay, and Sanskrit to Pali, that is again the same difficulties. Okay, because what is the main difference from Sanskrit to Pali? If you are understanding Sanskrit grammar, you are understanding 90% of Pali grammar. Only one thing, the compound is normally eliminated everywhere in Pali. This is one thing. And another regarding the form of verb, form of noun, that has been slightly changed. Okay, in the same way what we are viewing in Vedic Sanskrit grammar and classical Sanskrit grammar. Okay, so in the Vedic Sanskrit grammar we are saying Rame bhi. Okay, and in Sanskrit it is quite different. In the same way, if you are using the term which is with compound, then you are just simplifying it, and it is due to local effect. If you will come and who is in Nalanda, he or she can identify this difference through the help of local people, because normally you are talking in English, but when you go to nearby people, then in villages you can identify this shift easily. Then at that time no need to explain. So you are welcome to come India and you can enjoy this one.
Yes, thank you.
Anything else? If you have any question, I think there are so many questions in chat box. If you have question, you just unmute your mic and ask question, because reading text from chat box, that is very difficult task for me. And I have shared my email ID. If you have still any question, if you are not satisfied with my question, if you have any doubt in my lecture, you can replay the video and just stop, pause that video and just note down the question, and you just send it to me, or you can send through the WhatsApp also. Okay, so yes, Bipin Kumar Jha official ID @gmail.com or 8627938398. You have so many ideas. You can just share your idea or questions or anything else if you have any doubt, or if you are not finding the email ID or WhatsApp, just Google Dr. Bipin Kumar Jha. You will find in the first page. Okay. So anything else? If you have any question? Yes, you have very nicely mentioned here: Vedic, Sanskrit, classical, Buddhist, and hybrid Sanskrit. Yes, and there are so many terms, keywords you have been mentioned here, and I have mentioned all these things in my PhD from IIT Bombay. I have mentioned which type of terms have been eliminated, which types of terms have been included, which types of term has been different meanings, which terms have eliminated their one meaning and adopted different meaning. So I have mentioned all these things. Okay, so you can go ahead for regarding this one, and you can ask. Yes, another one who is trying to ask any question. And this is very nice thing that you are here with your video. Otherwise, whenever I am presenting, at that time I am viewing that only I am alive, rest of all they are not here. Okay, so it is very nice, and just try to understand whatever we have mentioned here, and if you have any question, any doubt, you are always welcome, and I am always ready to I feel a pleasure to send your answer. Okay. Yes, who is raising hand? You can just unmute your mic. Yeah, Leon Don. Don. Sorry if I am not pronouncing correctly. Yes, Leon.
Lindon, Sister Lindon.
In Leon Don. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, hello, sir.
Yes.
Can you say me with how to study Sanskrit myself, please?
How to study?
Yes, how to study Sanskrit myself, please?
How to study Sanskrit?
Yes.
That is very simple. First, you have such desire what you have already. So just try to find the text where it has been mentioned from ground level, zero level. Okay, if you are finding difficulties to find such type of text, you just contact me. I will give some examples so that you will be able to create simple sentences, and later on I will show how you will extract the meaning from simple sentences and how you will coin the simple sentences. This one. And later on, what you can do, you just go through the Jatak Kathas. That is very nicely depicted. And you can just read those Kathas which has simple text. In the initial stage, you can use Roman with diacritical marks, and later on, just try to learn Devanagari script. That will be easier for you. But leave right now Devanagari script. You just go through just try to understand the structure of Sanskrit grammar. Okay, structure of Sanskrit sentences. Okay, and that is quite simple. That is not too difficult. If you are finding difficulties, then I will take another class for how to create simple sentences. Okay, no issue.
Great. Yes, great, sir. Actually, right now we have now any Sanskrit course in our school. So if possible, can you manage the time to have the classes for us? Maybe
Yeah,
10 or
you
20 classes. We try to send you the official invitations letter.
can, no issue. Whenever
From the beginning,
you
from the very
see,
beginning.
whenever you need me, I will be always with you. Even you regarding your classes,
Yes, sir.
you can arrange. But if you are arranging Sanskrit classes, it must be at least 7 to 10 classes. Then you can learn something. Otherwise, it will be just introductory class, and that will not be too much helpful. 7 to 10 class minimum that is needed, at least for 40 minutes, and
Yes.
with one condition. That condition is, who will be there, he or she must have to practice what I will give. Okay, if you
Yes.
will not practice, then that one way learning, that will not be uh, effective. Okay, and I am 101% sure that if you will dedicate for 7 days, then simple sentences or simple reading, simple understanding, that is guarantee from my side. Okay, so
Yes.
you can arrange, and you just inform me. At least I have already mentioned, at least 15 days before. Okay,
Yes, sir. Just
so that I can arrange another my assignments. Okay,
thank you
so
so much, sir.
no need to hesitate when you are if you are concerned with me or not. If you are thirst of knowledge, you can just contact me. I am always available. And again, that's another thing. It is 101% free of cost, because
Yes.
I never take honorarium. It is quite clear. Okay, so who because if you have a hesitation, how I will call, how I will say, then it is quite clear. So you can note down, and I am always available. But you need to inform me before that, because I have to arrange my other assignments also. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay.
Yes, so wonderful. So thank you so much. Just want to perfect ourselves how to read, how to speak, and how to write Sanskrit in very basic level. So
Yes, I
yes, so,
understand, because
yes,
when I was teaching in Nalanda University, I have felt. I hope some of students are there, and I felt that they are quite started from quite zero. Even he or she is not able to understand aham, tvam, but slowly they are gradually they have uh, able to read at least, or create their own introduction at least. Okay, so that is very easy. That is not quite difficult. Okay, now Kwang, you are reading without unmuting your mic. Just unmute your mic, then ask. Kwang, unmute your mic. I am not able to listen to you.
Thank you very much. I invite Dharma Sister Lithium. Open your mics.
Good afternoon, doctor.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I am able to hear.
I want to ask you what is different between Sanskrit and Pali word in the Buddhism, and which the last one is the most popular? Can you say detail it?
Please pardon me. Please repeat
Between
your question. What I could understand, what is different from difference between Sanskrit and Pali, and another thing what you have mentioned.
yeah, between Pali and Sanskrit, um, the language is the most popular in the Thai Buddhism.
Okay, I have. I think I have mentioned this question. Just see. First of all, you see Vedic Sanskrit, and later on you see classical Sanskrit. Then you find Pali, Prakrit, and then later on modern Indian languages. Okay, this is the sequence. But you can't say that one time only one language is there. Okay, because it is ongoing process. And if you are saying quite difference, for that you can say Sanskrit was and is quite purified language, but in Pali we have some liberation, liberty to adopt, to spell, to say as per your own. Okay, and that was used in local area also. So that is the main difference. But when you are talking in the point of view of grammar, then you need to understand that it is more than 80% it is similar. Only you will find the Sanyukta compound term that is quite different regarding Sandhi or Samas or compound or Karak. Both are almost the same. Okay. So if you once you will learn Sanskrit, then you will be able to understand Pali grammar easily. Okay. And another thing you have just pointed out, I need to clear. Sanskrit has strict rules. The most important thing you need to keep in mind, Sanskrit has strict rules. You have to follow that rules. You can't skip that rule. That's why it appears as it is difficult, but it is not difficult. Okay, but it appears that it is difficult. Suppose you have I am here and I am saying that if you are trying to learn Sanskrit, you have to practice. Okay, so in the starting time, you are understanding how strict this teacher is. But slowly, when you are gradually you are learning this one, then you will understand, oh, what he was saying, that we have to follow the rules. He is not strict. He is just trying to make learn this language. Okay, so that is the thing. So this is strict rules. Yes, I will do the same. Yes, you are also there. I understand.
I write number Thể Bảo. Open your mic.
Hi, sir.
Yes.
Can you help me?
Yes, I hear you.
Since when this Sanskrit exists?
Sorry?
Since when this Sanskrit exists?
Oh, you are asking the timing?
Yes.
Oh, that is a very difficult question, and it is almost you will not find the answer. You see, the ever first text that is accepted as Rig Veda. Now, I'm not talking about only India. It is over the world. Okay, and it has two different notions. and again it will be very large topic, so I am summarizing. One group is accepting that it has not been written by any specific man or woman, and another group is saying that they are comparing on the ground of historical evidences. So if you are trying to know about that specific time, it means you are talking about historical evidence. That will be quite different. If you will see the Indian tradition, that will be quite different, and the difference will be more than 10,000 years. Okay, so that's why it is very difficult to answer when it has been started, because there is no written evidence regarding this one. Okay, and in Indian tradition, you will see the author never mention their his own name. Okay, later on you can find in some text, but not all text. Yes, another one. And I see Manish Mishra is there. He is also trying to ask something. Manish Mishra, you can unmute your mic if you have any question.
Yes, thank you. I invite Dharma Sister Nhungwa. Open your mic.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
How does Sanskrit literature affect the Mahayana scripture in the Buddhism?
How Sanskrit literature affects?
How does Sanskrit literature affect Mahayana scripture in the Buddhism?
You see, when you see the text from Mahayana literature, most of the text you are finding in Sanskrit. It has been written. Okay, so it is obvious that it is affected by Mahayana Sanskrit language. Okay, and why? You can ask the next question. Why? Because the author who has written those texts, they are belonging from the Sanatan tradition of India. Okay, most of all. And again, it is debatable. Some of them, they will say, no, he was separate Buddhist. But normally they are from Sanatan tradition. They came to Buddhist tradition. Yes, unmute, then ask. Okay, so this is the thing. So if I am from Sanatan tradition and I am coming from Buddhist tradition, Buddhist tradition, then my presuppositions, my background, my family background, my social background, all these will be affecting next text what I am writing. Okay, either it is philosophical text, or it is moral text, moral stories text, or it is natak, a play, dramatic text, whatever you will write. Even you are from Vietnam, you will come to India and you will try to write a story that will be affected from your own state, your own tradition. That is the thing.
Yes, thank you very much. I invite Dharma Sister Tịnh Pháp. Open your mic, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I have a question to you. Could you tell me between Sanskrit text and Veda of Brahmanism, which has a stronger influence and how to influence to the Indian intellectual tradition?
Okay, your voice is echoing. What I could understand, you are just trying to know how this text is concerned, or it is helpful to understand Indian intellectual tradition. Is it?
Yes.
Or something else?
Yes, sir.
If
That's
it
what
is,
yes, sir.
yes. If it is, then this is the question on my lecture. Okay, because I have completed my lecture and you are asking now that how it is helpful to understand intellectual tradition. No issue, just listen. I have already mentioned that Indian intellectual tradition is one banyan tree. Okay, and Buddhist tradition in India is one of the branch of that tree. Okay, once you are able to understand Buddhist tradition, Buddhist Sanskrit text. Why I am saying Sanskrit text? Because another text which are written in Sanskrit. That's why I am saying Sanskrit text. If you are understanding one Sanskrit text, structure of one Sanskrit Buddhist text, then it will be helpful to understand all different disciplines. Okay, in local language, we have one proverb that eka hi sadhe sab sadhe. If you are understanding one thing, you will understand each and everything. Okay, because the structure is the same. Okay, is it clear? The next one.
Yes, thank you.
And if you are not satisfied with my answer, then don't say thank you. You just note down and send mail to me. Okay, then I will discuss more and more. So don't stop yourself that, oh, once I asked and my answer is not clear till now, and how I can ask again and again. So if you have curiosity, you need to ask again and again until you are satisfied. Okay, so don't hesitate. Once you are stopping yourself, it means you are losing something. Yes, next one.
Thomas, Sister Linha, open your mic.
Hello, sir. Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Why is India considered one of the civilizational centers of mankind?
Pardon?
Why is India considered one of the civilizational centers of mankind?
Civilization of centers of mankind.
Yes.
Is it? You see, it is, if I am saying that may be considered as I am praising my land. If you are saying that will be better. But even you have asked as a question, I am compelled to answer your question. You see, in India, you will find that we have freedom to express our view. The most important thing you can note down this one, that freedom, no whenever I am saying freedom, it doesn't mean that when India got freedom after that. It is from the earlier time. We are free to express our own view. And another thing, we always care others, because our ancestors, they have framed the Sanskrit tradition, framed the root in such a way that it is in our sanskar, it is our you can say that it has been already given by those ancestors, our ancestors, that whenever we are finding anyone who is in suffering, we need to cure their suffering. Anamika, please unmute. Take this one. Okay, this is the important thing. That's why it is called as the land of mankind. And it doesn't mean that another place that is not in the same way. But here you can find such type of different Mahapurush or great saints. For example, you can see Lord Buddha, Jain, you can see Ramakrishna Paramhansa, Swami Vivekananda, and so many you can count the n numbers of that great saints you can find. and in epic also, in different texts also, you will find the same thing. If you see the great Sanskrit poet Kalidas, the great poet Kalidas, he has written one text. There are so many texts, but one text which I am mentioning, that is Raghuvans. It's just the story, but in that text, he is mentioning that he is just serving the cow, and one lion is coming and he is saying that you are the fool, that you are saying that just eat me but skip this cow. You are the king, you can do so many things, and you are helpful for society, and you are just saying that just eat me and leave this cow, because her a daughter is awaiting for her. Such type of notion they have explained, and they he is saying ekat patram jagata prabhutvam navam vayakantamidam vapuscha alpasya hetor bahuhatumichan vicharam uda pratibhasimetvam. You are such foolish man that you are just leaving everything for one cow. That is not good. So such type of things which have been mentioned by the great saints and great poets, and that's why whenever you are coming, you are understanding that it is your own land. Okay, so now you can ask questions. Just see if you are exceeding your time, because you have only 1 hour, so don't see.
Excuse me, sir. Your yourself is not audible right now, sir. Please unmute your mic. No, sir. Not yet to come, sir. No, not audible, sir. Two, three, four, 6, 7. No, sir, no, sir. No, we cannot hear you, sir. Okay, please test your mic again, sir. Test your mic again. No, sir, not yet, sir. Not yet, sir.
Hello.
Yes, yes, okay now. Oh, what
Now
was,
it is okay.
yes, okay now, sir. So
Okay.
actually, it's up to you, sir. Now we have around 8 questions left. So it's up to you. We continue or proceed or not.
Yeah, you can continue where I was muted.
Okay. Now please continue, moderator Chang Thiện. Invite our questions.
I invite Master Huệ Tâm. Open your mic.
Good afternoon, sir?
I was saying 1 minute. I was saying that I am here for you for 24/7. Okay, you will ask, I will not stop at all. So it is up to you. If you are thinking that you should stop the session, it is up to you, because if the student is asking question, then I can't stop myself. Okay, so that's the thing. So now go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes. What do you think the Buddha wisdom with today's scientific wisdom?
Pardon?
What do you think the Buddha wisdom with today's scientific wisdom?
I am not getting her question clearly. I think she is asking that in this scientific reason, how it is applicable, is it, or something else?
Actually, she want to ask you about the wisdom of the Buddha and the modern scientific wisdom.
Okay, wisdom of Buddha is, she is trying to compare. She is trying to compare
Yes.
Buddha's teaching in this scientific age.
Yes.
Is it? Yeah, it
Yes,
is
sir,
very.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
It is very helpful nowadays, because or we can say that it is more helpful nowadays, because when we are with Suddha Antahkaran in previous time, at that time we have not such type of a problem, but nowadays we need to have ahimsa, satya, and all these things, and specifically non-violence and all these things. And we can see in this worldwide scenario what is going on. For that, it is obvious, it is most crucial preachings of Lord Buddha. No one can deny this one. Even in technical age, we need to understand. Suppose if you are not understanding the teachings of Buddha, and you are just trying to go on practice regarding the developed medical science, where we have reached from at that point, the human existence is in suspicious stage. So for that, morality, regarding morality and all these, Buddha's teaching is really important. No one can deny it. Yes, next one.
Yes,
Thank you, sir.
I invite our sister Viên Thông. Open your mic. You.
Can you share to me some information about Dalai Lama?
Information about Dalai Lama. Yes, is it question? Is it a question or?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just see, I am not familiar with all these traditions, because whatever I could understand when I was in Himachal, at that time I have visited several times Dharmasala. You are well aware with Dharmasala. I have visited several times. Okay, and even when I was in Nalanda, I have visited Gaya several times. But I have no authority to say about Honorable Dalai Lama, because I am not authorized this one. Okay, so you need to understand, and if you have such curiosity, then I will just ask someone who is expert in this area, and then I will answer. Okay, but right now I am not expert in this area. That's why I will not share anything such type of thing where my expertise is limited. Okay.
Thank you. I invite our sister Nhật Từ. Open your mic.
Yes, open your mic first.
hello, sir. Can you tell me where is the Sanskrit upon and who found it out?
I didn't get, please.
Can you tell me where is the Sanskrit upon and who found it?
The host can explain what she is asking.
She replied to us where and when the Sanskrit is from, and who found the Sanskrit language. Who found the Sanskrit language? Who is the founder of the Sanskrit language? He composed the Sanskrit first.
Yes, this question already someone has asked. I have answered that there are two concepts. One is apaurusheya. No one has written these Digvedic texts and all these texts, because all these texts are natural. When you see the Ved, that is saying the natural thing, like praising the air, praising the sun, praising the this one water. So all these no one can deny it. Okay, so normally it is mentioned that no one has created these verses, that is these are natural. And when it has been started, normally it is accepted that it is from the very beginning of this universe, because you see Nasadiya Sukt, what I have mentioned in earlier time. Okay, so am I audible, or again the issue is?
It's audible.
Audible. Okay, so I was telling that you can see this notion in Nasadiya Sukt of Rigved. You can find that there nothing was there at that time, only water and the dark place. Okay, and later on he desired to do this one, create this universe. Then the small pieces of insects, then slowly it has been developed. So this is the concept. And not only in Indian, later on you see in Greek philosophy, Thales, Anaximander, and Anaxagoras, it has been mentioned in same way. So first, the text Rigved is the text worldwide. Okay, so normally we accept 10,000 BC normally, but historical evidence says different thing. Okay. But one thing you can understand, that Buddhist tradition has developed at least you can say minimum 2 to 3,000 years back, years later. Okay. Yes. Because I have already mentioned that Indian intellectual tradition is banyan tree, and we find one tree branch, that is Buddhist, and another one different Brahmanic tradition, and all those traditions are over there. Okay, and which you can identify when you will come Rajgir, then you can identify all these things. Okay, and once come to Rajgir and visit this one. Yes, another, if you wish to ask something.
Thank you.
Who is the next one?
Hello, sir. I heard about Sanskrit from some friends, and it's a little bit difficult for me. So I think a few people use this language. I would like to you to question: is is Sanskrit popular in the world, and how do you know how many countries in the world now use and speak Sanskrit?
Yes, you have very nice question. Just listen. First of all, you whenever you have asked a question, you have two questions. One question is hidden question. Second question is open question. Hidden question is you are afraid with Sanskrit because that is difficult for you. When it is difficult, when your mind is not able to accept this one, then it is difficult. Now all of you are asking so many questions. I see since more than 30 minutes you are bombarding with questions. And when I was asking, just ask one question, two question, you have 5 minutes. At that time, you were not asking. Okay. Why? At that time, you are mentally not prepared to ask question. Okay. When you are mentally prepared to ask question by these circumstances, by familiar nature of all host, co-host, and teachers, now you are active. In the same way, whenever you are learning any language, anything, your mind plays vital role. And for that, you need to read Dhammapad, you need to read Shivasankalpa Sukt, you need to read Rathrupag. You will understand that it plays vital role. And once you will think that I will learn this language, this is helpful for me, then it will be easy for you. Yes, another thing is the teacher is also playing vital role. If he is not teaching you in systematic way, then it will be difficult for you. That is obvious. Now the open question was, that was hidden question. Now open question was about Sanskrit. That is it spreaded over the world, or is it for only some a few people? For your information, you need to know that Sanskrit is popularizing day to day. It is used in day-to-day life. It is used in all traditional works. It is used in so many universities in India, in daily, as a daily classes, in daily routine classes. And not only this one, you can find advertisement in Sanskrit, you can find movies in Sanskrit, you can find different songs which is translated in Sanskrit. And regarding spoken Sanskrit, you can find that there is disaster and changing in learning Sanskrit. So nowadays you can't say that Sanskrit is for few people. We are thinking that it will be national language of India. Okay, and because without Sanskrit we can't think a single step in our day-to-day life. Okay, so but still we need to improve. Yeah, this is a little bit difficult. Why? Because it is strict rules. You can't mold those rules as per your own view. That is the thing. Yes, next one. Unmute your mic first.
Yes,
Don't
yes. I invite Donna brother Kwangdak. Open your mic.
What? Me? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yes, because you have raised hand, that's
Yes.
why she was asking to ask question. Okay.
I'm so sleepy, but I was awoken by your presentation. Yes, thank you.
No, you are feeling sleepy due to my lecture, then it is problematic. If you are feeling sleepy naturally, then it's okay.
Yes, can I add you?
Yes, next one.
In the Sanskrit, which scripture do you like the most?
What is your question?
In the Sanskrit, which scripture do you like the most?
It is very difficult to say because each and every text is important for me. Okay, but in India, you will find that there is a specific area of specialization. Okay, literature, grammar, philosophy, and even in Vedic tradition, there are different disciplines. You have to opt in universities, but fortunately or unfortunately, I studied such in such institutions where I need to keep uh, all subjects as a compulsory subject. Okay, so there is no
Yes.
specialization. That's why. But even if you ask me, then philosophical text I like the most, because when you are learning concepts, that is very beneficial for uh, development of your own personality. Okay, so I like philosophical texts uh, normally, but literature and grammar, all these are very, I found of those texts. Okay.
Yes. Oh, dear sir, I have a brother. He is Vantin. He have a question for you. Can you sing a song by Pali or Sanskrit language?
Oh, you, just see, this is talk. This is not for so where I will. But I can sing in Sanskrit, because there are so many shlokas, so many uh, songs in Sanskrit. Okay, so whenever you will ask, I will try to sing a song. You are giving the order. Okay, just say
Yes.
I will. I try to sing because I am not good in singing. I am afraid if I will sing, all of you will leave the meeting, but it is just in the end part of the meeting. That's why even you will leave, no issue at all. So that is Meghir Syamastamalladrumai Naktam Bhirurayam Tadeva Tadimam Radhe Griham Tapaya Itham Nandanide Sataschalitayo Pratyadvakunjadrumam Radha Madhavayor Jayanti Jamuna Kulerah Kelayah Nibhritanikunjagriham Gataya Nisirahasiniliya Vasantam Chakit Vilokit Sakal Disharati Rabhasavhanena Hasantam Sakhihe Kesi Mathanam Udaram Ramaya Maya Sah Madan Manorath Bhavitaya Vikaram Sakhi hai Keshi Mathanam Udaram Sakhi hai Keshi Mathanam Udaram. It is long song. I have just sung one stanza, and you can find it on Google. That is written by Acharya Jaydev. Okay, and the text is Geet Govindam. It is based on Krishna Leela. Okay, so you can find, and you can find it in YouTube also. There are so many song there. Okay, so this is the thing. I think all of you have asked question. You have taken my test also, that am I able to sing or not. Anything else you can ask?
Yes. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I invite Dharma Sister Liên Hoan, open your mic.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
When I learn of foreign English, sometimes I get stressed. Are you like that? And what do you do when you want to blow up steam? Can you give we usually feel stressed when we study Bali English or Sanskrit language, and can you give some advice? Thank you.
Yeah, I could know your question. You are asking like English. You are when you are trying to learn English from any institution, you are just giving the test. Like Sanskrit, is it or not? Is it your question? Host, confirm. Is it her question or she's asking something else?
Yeah, so she would like to share about the stress when she learns a foreign language, English, or Pali, or Sanskrit. So how to overcome stress of learning a language? I think so. That's one.
See, test you will be able to give the test, appear in the test only when you are knowing something. If you are not knowing anything in any language, suppose you are trying to learn a Sanskrit and you are not knowing anything, then how you will appear for test? If I am asking anything as a test, you must know the initial knowledge, initial information about that language. Either you are talking about English or Sanskrit or Pali or any language. The test is based on your information, what you are knowing and in which level you will be admitted. But when you are talking regarding Sanskrit, normally you need to appear in basic, because if you are not appearing in basic, then it will be problematic for you in intermediate level or higher level, because you assume that you are for higher level. But what I understand as per my experience in Nalanda, I understand that you should go through the basic level first. This is the thing. Last three questions now he has cleared, so there are only three questions. So even any fourth question or fifth question is there, they can send me directly through mail. No issue at all, because I understand that you have language issues. I understand very well. Okay, so no issue at all, because when I am teaching you or I am talking with you, I am at your stage. I understand your each and every problems. Okay, and one of those problems, language is also there. And sometimes if you have not language issue, you have hesitation that how I will ask. There are 156 participants there. How I will ask? Maybe there will be some problem in sentence structure and or anything. No issue. You just write your own question and send it to me, or you can text me through WhatsApp. No issue at all. But one thing which is needed, please mention your name and where you met me, even in this course, in this talk, or anywhere else, because I will be confused if you will not give the proper reference. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay, and you can ask, no issue. So last three questions, who will ask first?
Yes, thank you. I invite Master New. Open your mic.
Yes, open your mic. Okay, I think she or he has no question. So next question can be taken.
Now, Sister Linh Lạc, open your mic.
Mô Phật. Cha mấy em bị lỗi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can you share to me about your past event and how did you come to Buddhism?
I didn't get your question or your experience. What you are asking? Host can explain.
Can you share to me about your past event and how did you come to Buddhism?
What could I understand from your question? You are trying to know my background and how I enter in Buddhism. Host, can you explain her question? I am not getting properly. And it must be in English. Don't write in another.
Now, Sister Linh Lạc, open your mic.
Sure.
No, last question. What she was asking? Chon Thin. What she was asking?
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Yes. I have a question for you. Can you say some book to study about Sanskrit or some document for us to read and study? Besides that, a few appearance during your research on Sanskrit.
Yes, regarding text, there are so many texts you can read, but if you are planning for classes, I will suggest don't read anything. Take proper sleep, and when we will meet, at that time I will suggest you what you need to practice. Because if I will suggest book to read, any grammar book or any story book, you will get confused. If you wish to learn your own, for that there will be so many grammar texts like Subodhini, which is written by Professor Madhav Deshpande sir. It is in English and it is very easy to understand. But since you are in beginner stage, so when I will start the class, I will give some PDF. That will be sufficient, because I always teach minimum and you need to grasp maximum. Okay, so if I will give maximum, then it will be problematic to grasp minimum at least. Okay, so that's why you can take any grammar book if you wish to read yourself, and that will be elementary for elementary Sanskrit, or you can read Jatak Katha, where they have written in short sentences, simple sentences. That will be beneficial for you. Not the philosophical text, just story text, story Sanskrit text. That will be beneficial for you. Otherwise, you will not understand, and that will be problematic for you, and you will say that Sanskrit is very difficult. Okay. I think 2 questions has already been already asked. Last question Anyone can ask. Okay.
Last question.
Last question. I invite my sister Linh Như. Open your mic.
Good afternoon, sir. Why do Indian women like to have a mole in the middle of the penis?
Please ask this question again, because if I not get properly, then answer will be quite. Yes. Just ask this question again. What is your? Yes, you ask question regarding women. What you are asking?
Why do Indian women like to have a mole in the middle of the penis?
How you are saying this one? First, make it clear, so that I can answer this question. Or why you are asking this question? What is behind of this question? Thick dong dag. Can you explain it?
Okay, then my sister Linh Như, please repeat the question again.
Why do Indian women like to have a mole in the middle of the penis?
Oh, why is India had the most? Yeah, Benik. I'm not sure I'm getting your point. I'm not getting her point. Okay.
Another anyone who is getting her point, please explain, because without knowing the question, answer will be very difficult.
Yes, for sure.
Anyone who is understanding her question?
If not, I see the two raising hands. That my sister Quảng Tấn and my sister Thiên Quang. How about Quảng Thịnh? Are you available there? Quảng Tấn với Thiên Quang. Okay, last. Come on, please hurry. Be hurry. Be hurry, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know Sanskrit and Pali language? Which language is used a lot in the Buddhism at this time? Can you hear us?
Yeah, it is quite clear that Sanskrit is used in major part, and the text which is written in Pali, of course, we need to use in Pali only. But normally, Sanskrit text and Sanskrit medium is accepted. Okay, so there is no dispute at all in this regard. So Sanskrit is major text which is in Sanskrit. Okay, and which was in Pali. Those texts also have been translated in Sanskrit for teaching purpose. Okay, so that is, and local languages or another language like English or Sanskrit translation is also available. So while it is used in universities, then most of all Sanskrit medium is preferable, but another languages are also accepted. So it was really very interactive session, and I enjoyed a lot with your questions, and whose question I have not replied properly, or whose questions have been skipped. Don't hesitate, just send a mail and your question. I will try to answer, because just see, this was just knowledge exchange session talk, that is given one technical term, and I have just tried something to convey you, but that is the starting part of learning. That was not the enough, because in 1 or 2 hours, no one can conclude all these things. This is just for your curiosity, and you can learn more and more. And for that, I am always available. Okay, so regarding Sanskrit classes, or I have already mentioned that I will teach one almost 15 days Sanskrit Buddhist text, only Sanskrit text, not the explanation, only Sanskrit text, how to extract the meaning. And that will be, it will be better if you will arrange Sanskrit course first, then I will introduce that workshop. That will be beneficial for all you students, because at that time you will be able to understand basic Sanskrit texts. That will be better. Okay, so thank you all of you, and you for your patience, that you have listened me more than uh, 2 hours, not 2.5 hours. You have listened me, and we are I promised you for 1 hour, but that is very nice that we have spent for knowledge exchange, and it will be one pillar from where we can start our journey, because most of you are not aware, who am I, and I am not aware who are you. No, but now I can say that I am aware with you, that you have curiosity to know something. That is very nice, and we will meet with the next course, which will be defined by your guru. And now I can say that you can find it up this session.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Now may I request Dharma brother Donghan to give both thanks, brother, please.
Nhân dùng cái Namo Sakyamuni Buddha, dear participants. I'm going to offer word of thanks to our guest speakers and some participants. First of all, we are very pleased to receive the encouragement and instruction of Master and Dr. Thitam Tan, Rector of the School of Buddhist Studies, our faculty members and teachers to found the pioneer in the field of Buddhist studies. For the wonderful presentation, I would like to express my deep gratitude to Dr. Bipin Kumar, Department of Sanskrit, Central University of Haryana, who not only accepted the official invitation and the guest speaker today, but also delivered certain excellent presentation and discussion on Buddhist sensory text to understand the Indian intellectual tradition. Thank you very much, Dr. Bipin Kumar, for enlightening us the wonderful topic today. We have got lots of knowledge and useful information that you have given our club members. Through your presentation, I believe that all participants and members here have understood clearly and fully a problem and a Buddhist sensory test to understand the Indian intellectual tradition. Once again, thank you so much for your excellent presentation and the discussion show. In addition, on this occasion, I would like to express the gratefulness and thankfulness to my beloved members of the club. And on the School of Buddhist Study in London, we are not here without your support, cooperation, encouragement, and effort. I believe that with the persistent curricular activity together, our goal of profession Dhamma English will be realized and recognized in a happy manner. Keep it up together. We will be better English in the near future. Come on, all agents. I also would like to send my special thanks to our moderator today, Thomas County. I am really impressed with your words and speeches. Congratulations on your good performance today, sister. Last but not the least, I am thankful to our participants for joining us in this international interactive meeting. Welcome you on to our international meeting next week. May you all experience your peace and happiness in this life and the future. May you all be healthy in body, peaceful in mind, happy in life, and steadfast in career or spiritual path. Thank you very much. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, all of you. We will meet soon. Thank you, all of students from that school, from Nalanda University, from Central University of Haryana. I am finding they are also here. So all of you, we will meet soon with new assignment, and hope the knowledge exchange program will carry on. It will not stop. It is the first step. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brother Dongpan. Now we are going to come to the last season by singing our traditional song of the club. I have bride, I am home. Before that, please come to the online certificate distribution season. This certificate is awarded to Dr. Bipin Kumar, Department of Sanskrit, Central University of Haryana, India. Second, certificate is Thích Nữ Quảng Tánh, an active member in opening speech. Third, certificate is awarded to Thích Đồng Thành, working able obtained in Syria within international meeting. And the last certificate for me. Thank you very much. And now we are going to come to the traditional song. I have bride, I am home.
Please come in by my true name so I can hear words of laughter. Please come in by my true name.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Dr. Bipin Kumar. बहुत 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 धन्यवाद सर, आपका presentation wonderful and clear.